Hi, this is Tiger Empress with another reading. So, this is for my Cancers. This is personality traits of your life partner, who you're going to marry, your spouse. So, the personality traits are going to be good and bad, and then we're going to pick up on a deck that uses colors from different chakras to either get some clarity on some personality traits or give us some emotions or some other, characteristics or traits of your life partner, spouse, and who you're going to marry. So keep in mind, it's a general reading, so it's going to resonate. Every characteristic might be different. I already had with one sign, they had like two piles. So just keep that in mind. Thank you for clicking on this video. Please like and subscribe. So let's get started. I'm gonna pick up for Cancer. Good and bad personality traits of their spouse. Okay, so once again, personality traits, good and bad for Cancer spouse. Who they're gonna marry, their future spouse, husband, wife, or life partner. That's a traits, good and bad. Ooh. So forgot to say, so on these cards, they have a positive and negative of that trait. For some of the cards, I'm going to read off those, and for some, I might use my intuition if I feel like what's on there is not exactly what needs to be said. Come out. Too much. Okay. This whole video is just from shuffling. Jeez. Go this way. Go. Okay, so we have these came out immediately. Okay. So for some of you, they're gonna be book shy. So one of the characteristics is they're going to be book shy. So off the bat, that's letting me know that they're not really a book person. So I'm picking up for some of you Cancers. Some of you may be book people, but for the majority of you listening, you have no problem reading, but for some of you, it's not like a major hobby. For some of you Cancers, I'm picking up, it is something that you like to do, and you do it, as a hobby, something you do leisurely, like something you enjoy. But for the majority of you, unless have to, you're not going to be into books also. So your spouse, future life partner, they're going to be book shy too. Not really into it. Picked up very strongly when this came out. There's possibly a chance, it says a bit right wing, that your spouse, life partner, or who you're gonna marry, Cancer, is gonna be a right wing. So I'll be straight up, I'm picking Trump vibes. But not just that, like, they just have very conservative views. If it's not just that, it's just, in general, they have conservative views. Picking up, they probably grew up very conservative, not just as far as politics, but just very strict in conservative views, and, mom, dad, picket fence, this is how it goes. Yeah. Very traditional. Yeah, so a positive with that, I'm just going to read off that they're very realistic. Negative, sometimes callous to accepting of stuff that isn't acceptable. Few tears for immigrants. So like I said, very conservative upbringing. Yeah, they don't care for... I'm hearing they don't care for what the masses feel. They're not into all the saving the world type vibe. They just... I'm feeling that they just have a bubble. I'm feeling like they grew up in a conservative bubble, and how they see the world is how they grew up seeing it, or how they were taught and learned. They don't know any better, any different. Another trait is experience. So I'm picking up two experiences, right? So I'm picking up experience in the bedroom. So Cancer, your person you're gonna be with, one of the traits is that they're gonna be experienced in the bedroom. So probably before you, around you came into life, they might have probably been a player. So they've seen and done some things. I'm also picking up for some of you, when I heard the experience, especially saying they know it all, they're calm in a crisis. Is one of the pluses on there, calm in a crisis. I feel like for some of you, Cancer, you're a man or woman, spouse, life partner, or you're gonna marry. There probably might be in one of the services. So a Marine, Navy man, Coast Guard, the Army, National Guard. I don't know if I'm repeating it. So one more I'm missing. Air Force. Yeah, they might have been in. So that experience can be them being a calm in a crisis and ready to be strong for your weakness. Some of those things is because they've seen it all, been there, done that type vibe. Good and bad. For some of you, your spouse has spent years in psychotherapy. Because of this therapy, they accept it. And that could be where what I'm telling you being the service, that psychotherapy could be from triggering from their time in the service, and probably trigger some things that they already had things with their childhood that only triggered it more, or just being in the service and seeing like I said, seeing the things that they saw and trigger some things. I'm hearing PTSD. So positive, good natured and relaxed about admitting to be a bit crazy. So they know where this trigger and why they're going to therapy. They clearly know why, because of what they've seen or whatever. So they're not scared to admit that to you, that they're a bit loony. And you're going to realize, you know, obviously PTSD and the things that people see when they're in service in war is starting not to be something that's hush-hush anymore, and something that people are openly talking about and try to be awareness of, because it's been happening for a very long time. It's just not been talked about. So I feel like with you, Cancer, your spouse is open to talk to you about it if you want more information or want to know why these things trigger your spouse, or why they certain things just set them off, or you'll notice that certain movies or certain things that are talked about, or if people want to dive a little bit too deep into their experience in the service, that they get a little bit their mood gets a little bit off, or they get a little bit nervous. You notice these things because obviously this is your spouse. So negative. They want you to be in therapy. So I'm chuckling because it's not funny, but if they feel like, hey, it looks like you just a little bit as crazy as me, you know, we can go to therapy together, you know, sort out, you know, things. So they are really open to therapy for some of you, Cancer. For some of you, they deal with these things in their own way. And, you know, if you grow to love this person, you just accept that, you know, these are things that happened to them before you. And I'm picking up, Cancer, probably some of you with you, too. Probably that are going to be actively in there when you meet them, or when you're still married to them. So it's like for Cancer, like I said, some of the characteristics, they're going to be in the service, and either with those, half of you, your spouse is going to be open to talk about that in therapy and getting help, and then for others of you, they're more closed off and, you know, deal with it in their own way. So we have the urban. So off the bat, when I see this, your spouse probably grew up in an urban, and I'm getting suburban area. So either in a major metropolitan area or the suburb of it. Maybe they grew up in one or near one. Probably for some of you, Cancer, because I'm feeling like for those of you who are with someone who's been in the service, probably their family was. I'm getting for some of them. So they may have grew up in different suburban, urban areas around the world also. I'm not feeling strongly that they want to just always stay in suburban urban area. Like, they would be open to living in a simple countryside or in a more rural area if you were up to it. So it's like they grew up in this urban metropolitan area. So if you choose together and you want to stay in that environment, especially if you met them in that environment, they're okay with that. But if you want to, say you did come from a smaller town and you want to move back there, or just decide that, you know, I want to be in a more quieter area, they're up for that too. Because that only creates more peace of mind for them anyways. So we're going to pick up on some chakra colors, some emotions, some characteristics of your spouse, Cancer. Pick up on some emotions from Cancer's spouse, life partner, or partner. Ooh, a lot of green. That is weird. I mean, not weird, but I feel like all the shades of green came out. So even the top, just limitless. Bottom, stability, security. So let's see, Cancer. Once again, this is for my Cancer males and females. Does not matter. So it looks like you have every shade of green in here. So this is going to be a loving, just loving connection. Like, I see nothing but green. Just, and then you have relationships. So yeah, I just feel like this is going to be nothing but a loving connection, Cancer. Wow. Every shade of green. Y'all are going to be connected. Really connected in this relationship, in this union. Really, there's going to be compassion. It's going to be nothing but love. And there's going to be forgiveness. I feel like I said, this is yeah. I feel like, especially with those who have a spouse that's been, keep coming back to it, that's been in service, y'all have a bond and a connection. It's filled with compassion, because you know that, especially if this starts there in the service when you meet and it continue in your marriage, or even if they were in it and then stopped and then y'all got married, like, you know the trauma and the effects that experience had on them, and you help them. I'm hearing you help them and they help you in multiple ways in this relationship. You are that love and that healing and that compassion that they need, and they find in you and you find within them. And you know, I'm feeling like, you know, sometimes everything's not going to be perfect, but there's always forgiveness. Like, I feel like behind closed doors, even when your person fucks up and they know that they fucked up, because Cancer, you first of all, you'll let them know, and they'll also know by your behavior that they fucked up. So they want that forgiveness from you, because they're not gonna be scared to admit that they fucked up. Now I'm hearing that they, for the male spouses and life partners and those who are gonna marry, who's gonna be males, they have a tough exterior with everyone. You know, have this tough, you know, exterior and the outside with other people, but with you, they have this vulnerability, and they're not scared to admit that they've done wrong. Because they know with this type of love that y'all have, that first of all, they don't want you to be upset with them. First off, they don't want any of that smoke, Cancer. But then they also know that, you know, you give too much compassion and love into this to see you hurt, or for you to feel some type of way. They don't want that. supposed to read this too. This is on the top. Fizzy. So bring a lot of energy to tasks. Enthusiastic, fun, conversationalist. Don't let awkward silence build up. So I'm feeling with Fizzy that they're going to be very busybody. They're going to be all over the place. They want to go exercise. They want to go hiking. They want to do different things and tasks. Even in the house when there's nothing to do, they're going to try to fix something, build something. They're going to have their own hobbies because they don't like to be stagnant, not doing anything. That might be why the stability and insecurity is here, because they are always trying to do something. There's always work that needs to be done. Yeah, they don't like this stagnancy. I feel like for those of you who have a female spouse or life partner who you're going to marry, she's not going to be sitting still. There's always something that needs attention. The kids, the car, her, you. There's always something that needs to be done in the household, or pretending their job. There's always something that needs to be done. She's not going to just be sitting on 20 and her funds doing nothing. And like I said with the males, there's always work to be done, period. So this is your reading, Cancer. I hope you got some answers and get some insight on who that future somebody is going to, what characteristics they're going to have, good and bad. Thank you so much for looking at my video. Please like and subscribe. Nothing but love and light. Bye.